All right, let's play a game. Imagine this. $1 trillion, poof, just shows up in your bank account. Sounds amazing, right? But there's a catch, and it's a big one. You have to spend every single penny in 24 hours. If you don't, it all disappears. So let's dive into this wild thought experiment and see if it's even possible.
I mean, how hard can it be, right? $1 trillion in 24 hours. Sounds like the best problem anyone could ever have. But, as we're about to find out, what seems like a simple question, can you spend it all, quickly turns into an absolute logistical nightmare.
Okay, just look at that number for a second. $1 trillion. That's a 1 with 12 zeros after it. It's a number so huge, our brains can barely even process it. And here's the kicker. Our clock, it's already ticking down.
So to have any chance of winning this crazy challenge, we have to understand our real enemy. And it's not greed or bad choices, it's something called purchase velocity. Basically, it's the speed at which we have to spend. To get through $1 trillion in 24 hours, you need to be spending about $11.5 million every single second. Yeah, you heard me right. This isn't shopping anymore, it's a full-on financial sprint against time. All right, so where do you even begin? Well, like most of us, you'd probably start with the fun stuff, right? All the dream purchases you've ever thought of. So let's call this level 1, the luxury spending trap.
Your first move, your gut instinct, is to go big. You walk into the fanciest car dealership you can find, but you're not there to buy just one car. No, you buy the entire dealership, the building, every single car on the lot. Talk about a power move, right?
And here it is, our first reality check. That huge $12 million purchase, that took care of exactly 1 second. 1 second of your required spending. You've barely made a dent. You've still got pretty much a full $1 trillion sitting there. We have to go bigger. Way, way bigger. Okay, new plan. We gotta ramp this up. We hire a whole team of people to go out and buy the 100 most expensive yachts in the world. Bam. We buy the biggest cruise ship ever made. Done. You know what? Let's buy all 32 NBA teams. And hey, while we're at it, let's book a private concert with Beyoncé and Snoop Dogg. We're now throwing billions around, and you know what? It's still not fast enough.
Okay, it's pretty clear that buying luxury stuff just isn't going to work. The individual transactions are just too small, even when they're millions of dollars. So it's time to shift gears. Welcome to level 2. We're not just buying things on the planet anymore. We're going to try to buy pieces of the planet itself.
So what's a single, massive, iconic thing we could buy? How about the Metropolitan Museum of Art? The Met. It's filled with priceless history. So we make them an offer they can't refuse, right? Let's say $100 billion. One huge purchase, should be simple. And transaction failed. We've just slammed into a huge wall. And this time, it has nothing to do with the price. See, some of the most valuable things in the world, they're just not for sale, at any price. They belong to the public, held in trusts. They're culturally priceless, and it's legally impossible to just buy them. To put this in perspective, the most expensive home ever sold in the US was a penthouse for $240 million. A huge number, right? Well, for you, with your $1 trillion, that's like an average person buying a $60 gadget from Amazon. It's nothing. We've got to think bigger than just buildings. So we have to escalate again. Forget buying buildings, let's buy an entire country. Our new target? Greenland. Yeah, the whole thing. Based on what's in the ground there, it's valued at around $200 billion. That's a huge chunk of our money, and we can totally afford it. But you guessed it, another problem. A similar offer was actually floated a while back, and Greenland's response was very firm, not for sale. So what do you do when a whole country says no? Well, in this thought experiment, you create leverage. You drop another $50 billion on a top-of-the-line private military to persuade them. And what do you know, suddenly Greenland is on the market. All right, buying physical stuff is getting really complicated, not to mention a little aggressive. So time for another pivot. If buying things is this hard, maybe we can buy something intangible. Maybe we can buy power. This is level 3, the price of influence. And check this out. For about $7.2 billion, you could theoretically buy every single sitting member of the US Senate and House. I mean, compared to what we just spent on Greenland, that's a bargain. One big payment and you basically own the entire political system. Sounds pretty simple, right?
Well, not so fast. And this is where we see the real limits of what money can do. Sure, you can buy the politicians, you can buy all the ads in the world, you can own the whole machine. But what you can't buy is what our source material calls aura. You just can't buy the hearts and minds of the public. You can't purchase goodwill or make people actually believe in you.
And that's the key takeaway here, right? $1 trillion can buy you almost anything you can touch. But the things that really move the needle in the world, culture, how people see things, what they believe in, those things just don't have a price tag. Okay, so we've tried luxury goods, we've tried huge assets, we've tried buying influence. The clock is ticking down, and we are still sitting on a mountain of cash. There's really only one option left. Just give it away. So let's move to our final level, the philanthropy paradox. So you think, hey, I'll help pay down the U.S. national debt. A noble goal. You go to the official government website, pay.gov, you try to wire over a few $100 billion, and what happens? Transaction failed. The system literally can't handle it. The maximum donation they allow is just under $1 million. You can't even give your money away. The bureaucracy is impossible. All right, fine. Forget the government. What about other massive problems? You could wipe out all medical debt in the U.S. You could pay to end world hunger for a year. The money is there. But as the source points out, it's not that easy. Dumping that much money into the system at once could cause crazy inflation. And if you pay off everyone's student loans, what about the people who already paid theirs off? It creates a huge perception of unfairness. Turns out, large-scale philanthropy is really, really complicated. So that's it. We failed. We tried buying stuff, we tried buying power, we even tried giving it all away, and nothing worked. The clock is about to hit zero. It's impossible. Or is it? There is one last move. The only way to win this game is to cheat.
See, the real problem was never the $1 trillion, it was the 24-hour time limit. So here's the solution, the cheat code. You make one last, brilliantly simple purchase. You hire the best lawyers in the world to create a trust fund, and you transfer all the remaining cash into it. Technically, you've spent it by moving it to a new legal home. What you've really done is buy yourself more time.
And that brings us to a really fascinating final thought. This whole experiment shows that at a certain scale, money stops being a solution and starts being a problem, a logistical problem. It proves that the most valuable thing we have isn't money at all, it's time. So it makes you wonder, what is the true meaning of wealth if you run out of time long before you could ever run out of money?